All right, guys. So today we would be discussing what we call liquidity. Now, this is one of those essential parts of trading that most people take for granted. Or also, some people act like they know it all. I don't know it all. I'm still a learner. You know, we are here to make money, of course, but at the same time, we need to be careful on how we make it and not lavish our money. So, there are basically and essentially four different kinds of liquidity that are much more popular to people. Okay, the one we see most of the time, which we call consolidation, the actual liquidity, build up liquidity. They call them range liquidity or consolidation. We have a trend line liquidity. Why do we call this a trend line liquidity? Because it is going as a trend, or it's going on a particular way that looks like as far as it keeps touching that trend line, then it's still to be taken as a liquidity. So this, for example, is what we call a trend line liquidity. Of course, it can be upside down, and that way it's going to be called, a down trend type of liquidity. To look something of this sort. All right, it's still a trend line liquidity. To be drawn by the bottom here. So this would have to be here. So this is also a trend line liquidity. So there's a trend line liquidity, it's a range liquidity. Now look at this. You have two probably body or wick touching each other at a particular range or a particular zone. They also call liquidity. It's called a double top if it's touched at the top, and if it's touched at the bottom, it's called double bottom type of liquidity. And then we have triple top as well. That's three different wicks or body or candles touching on a particular line. They are called triple top, triple bottom. Now this is an example. Okay, this if you watch my last video, you'd probably see where I was talking about demand and supply mitigation. And this is say this is a demand zone. This is also a demand zone. This is a demand zone that the market is supposed to naturally come and mitigate in. Or it's first of all built up what this liquidity here. People would fall for this trap and think this is also a demand area, but it is not. It's actually liquidity. It's a liquidity, so it's a liquidity area as well. The market would trick you into thinking it's a demand zone, and then finally, hits your SL around this zone, and then before going back in the normal direction that it's supposed to go into. All right, this is what you call the double top kind of scenario. And here we have the triple bottom, just like the double top, we have the triple bottom. Sorry, just like the double bottom, we have the triple bottom. And this is the range, since the trend is consolidated a little bit, it comes back into your area of demand around this area, and then what's finally going your way. Now, this here is what a trend line type of liquidity. So you can see here, it kept touching on this line. So that's why we call it a trend line liquidity. Now, let's go to a live chart. Let's go to the chart and observe what we are practically talking about. Okay. This, for example, here we can see is what is the trend line liquidity inside of the sphere. The trend line liquidity. This here is what we call a range or consolidation, right? Well, I'm looking for a double top. Anybody see a double top, double top, double top? This can also serve as a liquidity trend line, right? I'm looking for double top. If somebody show me double top, yes. So this supply can serve as a double top actually. We delete this. We delete this and draw the line from this area. We can see it's what? It's a double top scenario, double top kind of liquidity. So this would also be classified as liquidity. Which other liquidity do we have there? We have triple top, any triple. Okay, look at this area now, for example. It's the triple top liquidity. 1, 1, 2, 3. It's a triple top. You can see that? It's a triple top. So basically, that is how the markets naturally do. Remember, I said something about it coming to its original demand zone. So this was the demand zone it was supposed to naturally come into, right? But then what happened at first? We had what? A consolidation at the top here. So many forms of consolidation. Before we started having a pullback, we had another consolidation here, right? That's a range liquidity. What other thing do we see? We see a trend line liquidity, sorry. You see a trend line liquidity over here as well, from here, going up this way. Got a trend line liquidity within this area. And then what happened, the price has to break through before coming into original demand zone before going its way. So these are basically liquidity. These are types of liquidity. Now, this is what we refer to as a triple bottom kind of liquidity. Consider here the triple bottom. So there are so many types of liquidity out there, but these are the major ones that you see people day-to-day trading and thinking on how they are going to be the boss, how I should say. So when it comes to liquidity, it's something we need to be careful about when we're trading because liquidity concepts, believe me, it's really, really something to take into consideration. You need to be careful how you trade in liquidity sessions and also how you trade the pullback phase, which I refer to as counter trends. So please go back to my previous videos, watch them, understand them, and also make sure that you can use them to your advantage when it comes to trading. So yes, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thank you. Stop recording.